Okay guys, so today we're going to do a drawing where we're going to use a subtractive process in Extrude to take away the parts we don't want. Sometimes it's actually easier to make the part whole and then take pieces out to show the cutouts. So that's what we're going to do today, and you guys are going to do the infamous number 3, which I know you've drawn in isometric, orthographic. It's one of my favorite drawings because it hits all the bases from my standpoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's click on New, Standard IPT, and Create. Tell it okay if this box pops up. Be sure to go Home, click on the chevron next to Origin to find your planes. Now, with this guy, I think the easiest way to draw this would be to extrude the L shape here, okay, all the way across, and then we'll come back and we'll cut out the thing that makes it look like a C on the bottom and a U in the side view. So to draw on this plane, you guys know this plane right here is the front plane of the isometric, and the front plane is the XY plane. So we are going to click XY, start 2D sketch, and we are going to sketch the L shape. Now, in the last video, I talked to you guys about what happens if your lines don't touch and what to do if your lines don't go straight. Well, I'm going to also show you today what to do if your lines get too long. So I'm going to click and come all the way through, and I'm going to go past this line here. Oops, it didn't close. So I'm going to hit Escape, and I'm going to click on Trim, and I'm going to cut this guy back. And now you see I get that nice endpoint there that informs me that this is indeed a closed surface. So the next step, of course, is to dimension. And on the drawing, it is 2 1/4 this way and 1 1/2 tall. So click Dimension. Click the line at the bottom, drag the number down, click 2.25, enter. Click the left-hand line, drag the number out, click 1.5, enter. And let's go back. We need this measurement here is 0.75. So we'll click this line, drag the number up, click 0.75, enter. And we need this measurement here, which is also 0.75. See, I'm hiding over here. Okay, so we'll click on the line. We'll bring the number out. We'll click. We'll put 0.75. Now, what would happen if I were to click this line? Do you guys remember? Well, it's already set at 1.5. Anybody remember why it's set at 1.5? And it's going to be a driven dimension. I'm going to accept it for right now. Remember, the sum of the parts must equal the whole. So 0.75 and 1 1/2 equals 2 1/4. And because these lines, this one, and the one at the bottom all have to be the same size, it's not going to let you change that one. Okay, so if you dimension it and it puts the number in parenthesis, that's why. So this is looking good so far. Let's click Finish Sketch. Use Zoom All to bring it all back on the screen. And the entire depth of this thing is 1 1/2. So we're going to extrude it 1 1/2. 1.5. To cut out that like C. So I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to select my surface. And I'm going to click Zoom All. And notice when I click Zoom All, I don't have grid on that rectangle that's like taller. And the reason for that is I'm sketching on the lower surface. So I can't actually do anything on that tall rectangle, which is why there's no grid there. So remember, always come to Project Cut Edges. And you can see now I have a green outline, and you can see that that green outline stops here because, again, I'm only sketching on the lower level. So let's draw this C shape, okay? And just to make sure that I'm starting that I get an endpoint here, Because if I try and start on that line, it may not actually catch the line. I'm going to start sketching outside of the part. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to come down, and I'm going to keep my line straight, and I'm going to keep my line straight, and I'm going to let it stick out at the end. I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard, and I'm going to use the trim command to cut these back. And now you see I have those little yellow points, and those are like true end points, and I'm not trying to guess and make sure I got it on the line. So trim can really be your friend. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click dimension. I'm going to click the green line at the top and the purple line here. Again, yours may be a different color depending on what theme you picked. And it's 0.414. I'm going to click, and that should be, I want to say it's 0.5. It is. We're going to change that to 0.5. We're going to change this guy down here. This, click the bottom line, click this line, bring the number out, and click 0.5. And now we just need to define how long this thing is. So let's click the line and drag it up. And my drawing tells me it is 0.75. So I'm going to put in 0.75. And now I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to come over to extrude. And I'm going to notice it gives me multiple options here, right? It wants to extrude the big C and it wants to extrude the little piece. So I'm going to pick the little piece. And notice it's trying to add property. Well, I'm going to click on the second option here where it says cut. And on extents, I can either put in 0.75, which is how thick it is, or you can pick extents all. It doesn't matter. And now you notice I now have taken out that part and cut through it. One thing I wanted to tell you guys is if you're ever in the extrude command and you're trying to select, like, let me show you. I'm in here and I'm trying to select, and it's jumping all around and it's making it hard for me to pick the part I want. Do yourself a favor and zoom up on it really, really tight, and that usually solves that problem. Okay, so I'm going to click that again so you guys can see it one more time. I'm going to use the cut option and tell it okay. All right, so now I've got that part cut out, and now I need to cut out the part of the U. So I'm going to go to the right hand view, and I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch, and I'm going to pick this back wall. Okay, again, project cut edges. And I can only draw on this back surface. I can't draw on the part that makes the C that's facing me. Again, I'm going to use line, and I'm going to start sticking out of the part. I'm going to come down and I'm going to sketch, keeping my lines nice and straight. And I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. And see, I've started to lay in the part of the U. You're going to click trim, and you're going to trim away these pieces so that you get those nice tight end points and you know exactly where your line ends. Going back to the drawing for a second, it tells me that each of these little parts of the U is 0.25, and the part that comes down here is 0.5. So let's put that on. For dimension, I'm going to click this line that makes the U and the edge, bring the number up, click 0.25, click the line on the outside, click the line, whoops, I didn't click the line, that's what happened. Click the line, click the inside line, bring the number up, 0.25. All right, and now we need to define how deep that rectangle is. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to bring the number out. I'm going to click, and it's 0.5. And now are you seeing we're going to get rid of that piece? And it's looking good. So we're going to hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to go Home. I'm going to click Extrude. And I'm going to select the profile, the piece that I want to get rid of, which is this guy. And again, it defaults to be an additive process, but we are going to click Extrude with a cut, which is this guy here, which makes it a subtractive process. The distance it goes back is 0.75, although you could use distance extents all, and it'll, you know, because it's the whole part. But we'll put it back to distance for y'all. And we'll hit OK. And there is your lovely number 3. Now remember, I don't want any gray drawings. So let's put some color on it. We'll make him gold. There. Now he's all fancy. I'm going to go ahead and save this. File, save as, Inventor 3. Then I'm going to go File, New, Standard IP, not standard, PLTWA, Create. Project name is Practice. Put your name on there. Put your date on there. File name is Inventor 3. Tell it OK. Tell it OK again. We're going to click on Base. Brings in your front view. Click above it. There's your top view. Click to the right. There's your right view. Click to the corner. There's your isometric, and tell it OK. Now, spread them out by coming to the front view and clicking on the dotted red line and spacing them out a little bit. Get this guy off the border a bit. Notice it put in the hidden lines for you. You guys remember when we did this drawing in orthographic and you had to figure out where the hidden lines go? Well, Inventor knows where the hidden lines go, so it put them in for you. We're going to double click on the isometric. We're going to put on shaded, and we're going to tell it OK. You're going to do File, Save As. Remember, let it save in the same directory. Inventor Drawings. Don't change the name. Hit Save. My friends at home are going to go File, Export to PDF. My friends in the room are just going to print it to General E115 and put it in the tray. So if you guys have any questions, remember, send me screenshots, and I can help you much better with screenshots than just questions. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoy your Inventor time.